Well, hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Karen Sizzlin' Spice. Today we're going to make a very family-friendly, economical meal called Potato Lasagna. You get pictures in your head? I know I am. Can't wait to make this. It's going to be great. Let's get going. Before we go any further, I do want to mention the fact that our world is going through a really trying time right now. But we really need to keep our sense of humor. We need to keep our wits about us. We need to keep living and loving and cooking. This might be the best time for you to start learning how to cook. I've got almost 50 videos on here now that you can look at if you have time. So when I thought about today's recipe, I thought about going to the grocery store and maybe not finding every item that you want. This one is pretty easy to make. There's not many ingredients. All you're gonna need for this potato lasagna is, of course, some lasagna noodles. We'll be using salt and pepper. We're gonna use about 6 medium-sized potatoes. You can use red or white. We're gonna use 1 onion. We'll use 8 ounces of cream cheese. We're gonna use 1 stick of butter. We'll need 1 egg. We're gonna use some cheddar cheese and some bacon. So let me show you how we'll get this one started.
Hey guys, Karen's going to be cooking again today, but you could do her a really big favor if you can click on thumbs up, share, and subscribe. That would really help her out a lot. Thank you. Take care.
So to prepare my potatoes for this dish, you can do 2 different things. I made mashed potatoes last night for dinner, and I ended up making some extras because I knew I would make this recipe today. So it's 6 potatoes that are mashed, and if you're looking for the perfect mashed potato recipe, check out my video number 36. In that video, I'll show you how to make mashed potatoes with this potato ricer. This thing is terrific. I don't even know why I didn't have one of these much sooner in my life. Because, you know, you can mash with your regular masher, you can use a hand mixer, nothing, and I mean nothing, gets your potatoes any creamier than this potato ricer. So you can see that on video number 36. Now if you're making your own mashed potatoes and you're gonna follow how I make those on video number 36, just be sure that you don't use the milk that I use in there, only the butter and the salt and pepper and the mash, because you want this potato consistency to be a little bit thicker for this lasagna. If you don't have enough potatoes in the fridge or your market is short on them, you can also use a box of dried potatoes. Just follow the package directions, don't use the milk, because again, we want these potatoes a little bit thicker for this lasagna mixture. So I'm gonna get some things organized here and then I'll show you what we'll do next. All right, to get this recipe going, the potatoes that I made yesterday, I'm gonna put into the microwave so they get good and hot. We'll do that about 3 minutes at a time. And while that happens, I'm cooking bacon in my nonstick pan. Sometimes I cook the bacon in the microwave between paper towels, which is great, but for this recipe, I actually want a little bit of that bacon grease to add when I saute my onions, which is gonna make them taste heavenly. So I'll be right back. While that bacon is sizzling, can you hear it behind me? And the microwave's going with the potatoes, I'm just gonna get my onion cut up. And I'm gonna chop it in not too small pieces because I'm gonna fry it up, and this is gonna go on top of the potato lasagna. I just like to cut my onion in half and peel it, of course. And come a little closer, Ed, so they can see how I cut my onion. And again, I'm not gonna make them too small today, so I'm just gonna do a couple cuts this way, and then some cuts this way, and then this way, and they'll be chopped perfectly the way I want them, kind of a medium size. I'll be right back. Okay, my bacon's nice and crispy. I'm just draining it on paper towels. I like mine extra crispy. And again, like I said, I'm just using this for the top of our potato lasagna. And you know, potato lasagna, it's gonna taste a lot like cheese and potato pierogies, which I don't know about you, but I love them. Now, depending on how much grease you get in your pan from the bacon, I don't want to use a lot of bacon grease. I just want to have a little bit in the pan for flavor. So I'm actually going to drain just a little bit of this out of here. I'm going to leave a little bit of the bacon grease in there, and I'm going to add my 1 stick of butter. Then let's get this going. Let's get it nice and hot again. Oh yeah, that bacon grease is still hot. You can come closer. Now I'm going to put these onions in here. We're going to let these saute a while. Yum, yum. Look at those onions. The smell in my kitchen is fantastic. I'm going to let these saute for probably 10 or 15 minutes till they're translucent. We'll move on to the next step then. So that I know how many lasagna noodles that I'm gonna need, I don't wanna use the whole package because I don't wanna waste any. So this is what I always do. I count out when they're not cooked yet to see how many it will take to fill my 13 by 9. And it's gonna take 5 noodles for each layer. We're gonna do 2 layers of noodles. So I'll need 10 noodles for sure. And I always boil maybe a couple extra just in case something rips or whatever. So we need 12 noodles for the lasagna. All right, it's time to get my pasta water going. I'm gonna turn it on high. And in the meantime, I'm gonna check my potatoes to see if they're hot enough. Oh, I think they are. Oh yeah, these are nice and hot. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm just giving them a little bit of a stir. I'm gonna take 1 egg and beat it up. And remember, I never put my egg directly in the food from the eggshell because you never know for sure if you're gonna get lots of eggshells in it. And then it's impossible to get those out once you've got it in your food mixture. So I always beat them up outside of my food mixture. I'm gonna pour that in. This is gonna bind the potatoes so they make a great layer in the lasagna. And then I have an 8-ounce package of cream cheese here. I'm just gonna cut it into pieces and put it right into the potatoes here. And these potatoes, you need them nice and hot so that the cream cheese will melt. All right, I think what I'll actually do is just push down all the cream cheese into the potatoes. And then I'm gonna put the cover on this dish for a little bit and let that melt, and then I'll give it a good stir once it's all melted. And I'll be back with the next step. Okay, my pasta water is almost ready to go, and I've let these potatoes sit here for a few minutes with the cream cheese melting in them. Let's see how it stirs now. Look at that deliciousness. Oh, this is gonna be so decadent. Look at how nice. Oh my goodness. Look at how nice that cream cheese has melted just by sitting here for a few minutes. I'm just gonna continue to stir this till it's nice and smooth. This is ready to go now for this lasagna. I'm excited. It's time to start layering this deliciousness for this potato lasagna. I've got my noodles ready to go here. I'm using a 13x9 dish, and I'm spraying it with just a little bit of ham so nothing sticks to the dish. And we're gonna start layering the noodles now. Remember, I counted out 10 noodles that would fill this tray 2 times. So there's 3. We're gonna overlap them a little bit. Here's 4. And we're gonna need like a half of one at the edge here. So I'm just taking my kitchen shears and I'm just gonna cut it here for a perfect fit. The next layer then will be our potatoes, and I'm gonna use half of the potatoes in here on this layer. And then I'm gonna just spread it out. If you're a good painter, you're gonna be good at this too. It's gonna be a nice thick layer of potatoes. The second layer of noodles will be easier to put the potatoes on top of, because then once you've got this going, it's like glue, makes everything stick together. So the next layer will be easier. So you just have to carefully pat the potatoes all the way across the tray. I'll show you what it looks like when we get a little bit further here. I've got a nice even layer on top of the noodles here with the potatoes. I'm just filling in a couple of the gaps. That's about half of the potatoes. The next layer is going to be some cheddar cheese. A good handful or so. I'm going to put a little bit extra on the top. So we just need a little bit here. Now I'm going to put the second layer of noodles on now. Yeah, this layer will be much easier because nothing's going to move underneath now. Woo! I can't wait to eat this. Eddie's going to love this one. Okay, we just need one more here at the edge. I'm going to cut it to size with my scissors. All right. Now we're going to load on the rest of the potatoes. I love potato pierogies. It's going to be delicious. I'm going to freeze some of this too, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. But I have frozen regular lasagna before, so I think it's going to be perfectly fine. And you know, in trying times like this, I'm making big meals, and I'm freezing a lot just so I have it on hand. This way too, if there's somebody in my family or friends who is low on food, can't find what they need at the store, I'm happy to share. Just happy to do my part. All right. I have my oven turned down to 350. Because this mixture is all warm right now, this will only take about 20 minutes to heat up. 20 minutes, between 20 and 30 minutes, I'd say. And Ed and I are going to eat it for lunch today, so we are ready to eat. All right, after the potatoes, I'm going to put a little thicker layer of cheese on top, the cheddar cheese. If you have other cheeses you like better, it would probably taste good on here too. You can, whatever you like on here. And I will be right back with those sizzling, simmering onions to put on top. Ooh, these onions are ready to go. Sizzling and brown and beautiful. I'm going to just put these right on top of our dish here. Just kind of, oh man. Look at that, Eddie. Oh my gosh. That looks so delicious. Wow. Okay, like I said, my oven's at 350. This is only going to take 20 to 30 minutes. When it's bubbling and it's browning, it'll be ready to go, and I'll show you guys what it looks like then. Get it in the oven. Oh man, that looks good. Maybe I'll spread these out just a little bit more. Because you know what? You eat with your eyes first, so you may as well make it beautiful, right? Here we go, in the 350-degree oven. I will check it in about 20 minutes for doneness. And then it'll be our favorite time. You know what that is? It's taste time. See you then. I can tell from the smell, this potato lasagna is ready. I've left it in the oven for about 25 minutes. Now, if you put it in the refrigerator, and you can make this one ahead of time, you'd want to leave it in for longer. It could take up to 40 minutes since it's been chilled in the fridge. But this went right from the warm mixture into the oven. I'll show you how this looks. OMG, it's kind of sizzling around the edges. Come in closer to that egg. Oh my gosh, look at that. Now, like all lasagnas, we're gonna need to let this cool before we slice it. Otherwise, it's a big mess. It doesn't slice nice. So we will let this cool for probably 10-15 minutes, and then we'll be back for the taste testing. So it's our favorite time. Time to taste. Give me a kiss, honey. Mwah. This cut much nicer than I thought it would even. Sometimes these lasagnas are hard to cut, but I let it sit for about 10 minutes and it cut beautifully. So we're just gonna do a little bit of toppings here.
Yes, after we put the toppings on, I can't wait to taste this. I've never had anything like this before, so it should be very interesting.
So here's where the bacon comes in. I just put a little sour cream on mine, and now I put the bacon on top. I cannot wait to taste it. I'm not waiting for you.
Okay, I can understand that.
Because I gotta do more talking. So anxious to try this. You know how sometimes you have a pierogi and you're like, there's just not enough filling? This is the opposite. The filling is abundant. The flavor of the bacon and the onions, the creaminess of the cheese, and the crispiness of the bacon. This is just so delicious.
This is really, really good. If you don't want to make anything else, you have to try this. It's so different.
Thanks for visiting my channel today. Make sure you come back and visit us often. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe.